how to use the mirror to step into your desired reality. Inside this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what the mirror is, the problems that people have using the mirror right now, and everyone's using the mirror. And I'm also going to be breaking down exactly how to reverse engineer your mirror that you're experiencing your life through in order to basically align with whatever it is that you desire. Whether it's financial abundance, whether it's a particular relationship, whether it's health or fitness change, whatever it is that you want, if you know how to use the mirror, your life will change. So let's dive straight into this. Now, first of all, what you need to do is you need to understand exactly what the mirror is. And when I talk about the mirror, what I'm actually talking about is everything you see inside your physical reality right now. And to make it clearer, your world is a reflection of your mind. Okay? Your world is a reflection of your mind. And to understand the mirror even better, I can draw a simple diagram. Imagine this line here is the mirror. On this side, you have the world that you live in right now. You have all of the different countries. And my blue pen is unfortunately broken, so we're getting a new one. But on this side, what you have is your mind, okay? And I'm gonna do my best to draw a person. You have your brain, right? You have your mind. What's happening is whatever's going on inside this mind is being reflected into your physical reality. So to break this down even clearer, what we have here, and let me use a different pen. What we have here is the mental, and what we have here is the physical. And as humans, we live on different planes, and our physical body is on the physical plane, and our mind, our mental, is on the mental plane. And we can tap into different planes that are above us in order for us to align with our purpose, our soul's blueprint, and basically create a life that is destined for us, because all of us have our own individual soul blueprint that we've come to this life with. And kind of a bit of a side note now, one of the greatest things that I believe in is when you reach the end of your life, you will meet with your highest self, okay? And this higher self, what will happen is one of two things. Basically, either you will meet with this person, the highest version of you, and you will meet them eye to eye, and they will basically give you a pat on the back and say, hey, look man, you've absolutely smashed your life. You've achieved absolutely everything that you've come to this earth for. You've achieved absolutely all of the goals and intentions that you set before you come to this planet. And on the flip side, what could happen is at the end of your life, God or whoever you believe in, whatever, will show you your soul, or your higher self, sorry. And you will finally reunite with your higher self. And what will happen is they'll be entirely different to who you are at the end of your life. They'll have completely different lifestyle, completely different material reality that they experienced during their life. And you'll basically be unrecognizable to this person because they're so far ahead of you in what they've achieved in their life. And that basically, you don't recognize them, right? And the point is the entire purpose of your life on this planet is to expand and grow to your fullest potential. And if you align with what your fullest potential could be on a higher timeline, or a higher plane, than the physical world, you will be able to create a life that is destined for you. And I can guarantee you that life will be full of joy, love, abundance, peace, and all of these other great feelings. So the main problem that most people have is they're currently operating from the physical world, and the physical does not change the physical. And like what guys like Joe Dispenza talk about, they talk about changing matter with matter. And what that means, and this is going to relate to a lot of you guys now who are entrepreneurs and people who are trying to actually make a change in their life, basically means this. Right now, what you're more than likely experiencing is that no matter how many YouTube videos you watch, no matter how many courses you buy, books you read, information you receive, strategies and tactics that you try, nothing seems to work. Because what you're trying to do is change the physical world with physical action. But the reality is that physical action alone will not change the physical world. That's like you trying to step inside a mirror to change your own reflection, right? Like, that's stupid. You're going to be scratching the surface of the mirror, you're going to be drawing on the mirror, you're going to be trying all of these things. But no matter what you do, you're not going to change this reflection until you change what's being shown to the reflection, which is going to be your mind. Okay, so let's talk about the mind and exactly why it's so important when it comes to using the mirror to step into your desired reality. So let's clear this whiteboard once again. By the way, guys, if you've come from my Instagram, you will have noticed that maybe I'm not posting as many Instagram reels as I used to, and the reason why is I just don't fuck with Instagram. I don't even use it myself, and so if I don't use it myself, why would I even post on there? That's basically my mindset with Instagram right now, and I just really enjoy making longer form videos, and I really enjoy just flowing. That's my most authentic self without having to worry about scripts and all of that bullshit. So, cool. What was I talking about? How the mind is important when it comes to the mirror. And in particular, how to reverse engineer your current reality in order to understand your mind right now. So, what you will have, okay, is I'm going to put a line down the middle, and we're going to title this the mirror again. This is the mirror. What you will have is, on one side, your reality, and on this side, what you're gonna have is your mind, and you could just call it your mindset for now, okay? You could call it your frequency, your beliefs, whatever. I'm just gonna call it mindset for the sake of this, to keep things simple. Now, in order to reverse engineer the mirror, to understand how you can change the cause, because once again, one thing I didn't explain, right, is you and your mind is the cause, and the reality is the effect. Now, you can't change an effect with an effect. You can't change matter with matter, and you can't change the physical world with only physical action. There needs to be something else. There needs to be a different type of cause in order to change your reality. But in order to understand why you're currently living this life, you can basically reverse engineer the effect and understand the cause. So, very simply, what you want to do is just write down the current life you're living right now. Let's say you're tired of money, you're fat, you struggle with relationships, your business is failing. Whatever it is you're experiencing right now, in your reality that you do not want, write it down. And what you want to do on this side of the equation is ask yourself why. It's as simple as that. Why do you believe that money is scarce? Let's say, for example, you believe money is scarce because you're struggling to sign clients, right? Let's say this is a business example. You're struggling to sign clients. What you want to do is you want to ask yourself why around 5 times, okay? Why do you believe you're struggling to sign clients? Well, maybe it's because you've had negative responses. Maybe it's because you believe your strategy doesn't work. why are you having negative responses, and why do you believe your strategy doesn't work? Maybe it's because you don't actually believe that your service is going to help them, and therefore the clients are sensing that, the potential clients are sensing that, and therefore they respond in a negative way, which confirms your belief that you don't think the business will work. So you could say, I believe the service will not bring 100% results. And if you go even deeper, you can ask yourself why. Because you fear not succeeding, right? This is like an example of a chain of beliefs which could be going through someone's mind. And I know back when I was starting my first business, it was an agency, I had this chain of beliefs within my mind which caused me to believe that money is scarce, but actually the deep underlying root cause was fear of not succeeding, right? And it could also just be lack of worthiness. You do not believe you're worthy of delivering the results that could change your clients' lives, and therefore what's happening is you're seeing negative responses because your reality is confirming to you these beliefs down here, and what's happening is therefore you're struggling to sign clients, and then you believe that money is scarce. Okay? So what's the underlying emotion behind all of this? It's fear, it's lack, it's scarcity, right? This is what's causing your reality to show you these things. I could break down all of these one by one. Let me break down, I could break down, for example, your fat. Like, that's like kind of one which is different because this is more related to health. But the same principles apply. Because let's say you're fat, you're skinny, whatever it is, you just don't have your dream physique and you're not as healthy as you believe you could be. Let's break down what the chain of thoughts could look like. In fact, I'm going to break down a chain of thoughts that I used to believe. Okay, so I used to believe that I couldn't be muscular and athletic. This was one of my beliefs, okay? And when I began to ask myself why, it was simply because of beliefs that were impressed into my subconscious by society, right? And once again, this is by the world. So reality itself, okay, if you choose certain beliefs, it will show you those beliefs. And it's your job to basically undo them. So I believed I couldn't be muscular and big. Why? Because I'd be too heavy. Why? Because I wouldn't be able to move. And I'd have to, basically I had to increase my weight in order to gain muscle, and therefore I wouldn't be able to box. Stop boxing. Why? Because I didn't actually believe that I could build muscle. And the actual underlying emotion I remember of me not believing that I could build muscle and be athletic at the same time was simply fear. Fear that I wouldn't be able to be athletic again. And the reason why is because I'd seen all of these muscular guys on YouTube, I'd seen bodybuilders, they didn't seem like they'd be able to move. And what I'd have to do, or what I did in fact, is I just reframed this entire belief. And this example is not really like a logical breakdown that I can actually explain, but all I simply did was just reframe my entire belief about myself, even if it didn't conform to what reality wanted to show me and what societal paradigms were. And I just simply started training whilst maintaining my athleticism in my own unique style, And then all of a sudden, boom, reality showed me what hybrid training was. Reality showed me that you can have functional strength and therefore be athletic whilst being jacked. And then I was able to dive so much deeper and just build a routine about myself because I uncovered the belief that I had fear around it, and then I was able to neutralize it and overcome it and therefore change the entire thing, and then reality just showed me that result. Another example with this is, and this is one for all of you gym guys, is I believe that I couldn't actually go ahead and get shredded or maintain my physique whilst on a fruit fast. This is a very interesting one because what happened is, I remember I finished up my bulk, I was 86 kgs, and I wanted to cut. I had like a layer of fat on me because I was bulking, and I wanted to cut, but I also wanted to detox, and I believed that if I detox, I wouldn't be able to hit my protein goals, and I wouldn't be able to maintain my muscle. Funny thing is, I went on a fruit fast, and I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna go against all of my beliefs, just like I did when I went with this. And by stepping into an entirely new mindset, and just impressing inside my mind the belief that I can still be jacked whilst on a fruit fast and not actually technically hitting my macros, I was able to maintain all of my strength after around 3 weeks of mostly just eating fruit every single day. And I can show you pictures if you really want to, but this is simply how your mindset is causing your reality and causing the life you currently live right now. So, to summarize that part, what you want to do is just analyze what is going on beneath the surface. Ask yourself why at least 4 to 5 times when it comes to the points that you have in your current reality, and you will understand exactly why your reality is showing you that. Now, the mirror works in ways which don't even seem to be logical. Just like I mentioned with the beliefs of having, a fruit fast diet and maintaining strength, to a, biology, I don't even know what they're called, like a biology person, a nutritionist, they'd be like, what the fuck, man, this does not make sense. But it just happened to me, right? Because I simply believed it. And this is why you see guys such as Eddie Hall deadlift 500 kg. This is why you saw the 4-minute mile. I mean, I never actually saw that shit. I think it was quite a while back. But that's why you see people have these, certain breakthroughs, right? It's all because of belief. And belief is what's reflecting into reality. So, I'm going to give you an example here. And before I actually break down the example, I want you to understand this, okay? The RAS, which is your reticular activating system. Now, the role of the reticular activating system is to basically filter what it is that you see in your reality. Okay? Imagine this is the world, or sorry, let me rub that shit up. Let me break this down again. Imagine that this line here is your subconscious beliefs. Okay? And this is basically a filter. You can imagine this as being a pair of sunglasses, right? Just imagine that's like a pair of shades that's on your eyes. Then you've got like your nose down there and whatever, like that's such a crap drawing, but imagine like this to be a lens which you're seeing your life through, and this lens is formed by your subconscious beliefs. And what you have here is the world, once again, okay? Now, I'm just gonna draw some little countries and shit. Now, these subconscious beliefs, okay, and the reticular activating system, the role of the reticular activating system is to filter what you see in the world through your subconscious beliefs. And that's why you believe that money is scarce, for example. That's why you believe that relationships or good relationships are hard to find. That's why you believe it's hard to get jacked or it's hard to stay healthy. whatever limiting beliefs you have is what you're going to see in the world, because that's what your subconscious beliefs are. And basically this plays a role in absolutely everything, because your brain and your eyes have so many different inputs, right? And the way that I like to imagine it is that everything actually already exists here right now. Vibrationally, absolutely everything exists. There's a reality where you can have 100 million in cash in your bank account, okay? You don't need to understand how, you just need to understand that all of these infinite possibilities exist, and they all exist beyond the physical world, because you can't change the physical with more physical. Something else needs to happen, and that's your mental and your subconscious beliefs, okay? Now, an example I can give for this is, if you're from the UK, you will know what the yellow car game is. I think it's called the yellow car game. It's basically where people pinch punch when they see a yellow car, okay? And what this is a perfect example of the reticular activating system in motion. What happens is you set the intention to see a yellow car, and because you don't place any importance on that intention to see yellow cars, it basically just immediately becomes part of this filter. And what happens is you start seeing yellow cars all over the place. Now, if a child can do that and see yellow cars absolutely everywhere they want because they intentionally cause reality to show them that, imagine how big you can take this. Because there really is no difference between you having £100 million or $100 million and you having $1,000. There really is no difference other than what you believe to be true about the world. I know, for example, Neville Goddard, I believe it was him, he talks about the example of imagining yourself walking through a ladder, like, you know, those ladders with like the frame, imagining yourself walking through one of them, or it's either climbing one or something like that. But that's an example that he uses, and because it's something that doesn't really have much importance to your mind, it means that you can immediately step into that, and boom, like before you know it, you walk under a ladder on the street, right? Something like that. Another one you can use, which I've seen, is the pink balloon experiment, and this is where you just set the intention to see a pink balloon, and before you know it, you'll see it. And so what you can do with this is something very, very powerful. Let me explain. So what you want to do is look at what your beliefs are, just like you did in the last section. So analyze your current beliefs. And what you want to start doing is analyzing or creating new beliefs that transcend your current beliefs, okay? So let's say you, once again, believe that money is scarce, you believe it's hard to stay healthy, you believe it's hard to find good relationships. You want to start impressing into your mind all of these new beliefs, right? And the way to do this is by just telling yourself the new story and repeating it in your mind every single day until it basically becomes a part of you, a part of this lens. And as soon as it becomes a part of this lens, then you will start seeing that in your reality. You will start seeing an abundance of money, you will start seeing opportunities everywhere. And this lens is the reason why some people will see opportunity and some people see limitation, even though they're looking at the exact same thing. It's because of their beliefs. It's why some people will see danger and some people will see reward. It's because of these exact same beliefs. Or, sorry, it's because of their beliefs anyway, even though they're looking at the exact same thing. That's why, for example, I mean, for me, like Asian parents, they're like very conservative in what they're doing and everything. But the majority are anyway, especially if they're like old school. And that's why they see danger in like the most simple things, such as going out at night. Whereas, like let's say if it was in a new city, whereas someone else might just see it as an opportunity to have some fun, meet new people and network, right? Even though it's the exact same thing. It's like where you're focused on. And so where focus goes, energy flows, and if your focus is so fixated on your current beliefs, then you already know that that's the cause of your reality, so you just need to change the beliefs that are going on underneath the operating system in your mind, right? So that's basically it. That is literally it. That's how to use the mirror to your advantage. Now, there is one more step I'm going to add to this, which is impressing the subconscious mind and actually changing the beliefs. how to become the new cause. If you want to see a new reality reflected into your mirror, you need to become the new cause, okay? How do you do this? Well, what you want to imagine is the old you. Old you is this guy right here who's stuck in all of these automated subconscious routines, beliefs, thoughts, patterns. And this guy, okay, is trying his hardest to stay alive. And the reason why is because your brain wants to move from comfort, well, it's discomfort towards comfort, and it wants to move from pain towards pleasure. And you changing your subconscious beliefs and going against your subconscious beliefs is you actually stepping into danger and discomfort. Okay, so your brain, let me write this down, discomfort to comfort, and pain towards pleasure. Now, because you're so comfortable and used to being in your current reality and your current subconscious beliefs and paradigm, what will happen is discomfort and pain when you move towards things that logically you know will serve you, however subconsciously they're kind of outside of your comfort zone, right? Like subconsciously, your brain subconsciously doesn't care if something's good or bad. It just wants to save energy, be comfortable, and seek pleasure. And that's why you'll wake up late, that's why you'll scroll social media, that's why you'll eat junk food, that's why you'll believe that money is scarce, because it requires excess energy and discomfort in order for you to move into a state where money is abundant. You're gonna have to change your beliefs, and to change those beliefs, there's a lot of energy that happens in terms of brain activity to change those habits. So I'm gonna draw a chart as best as I can to describe this change in habits. But what will happen is for around 21 to 28 days, when it comes to changing a new habit, there's a lot of conscious activity. So this is brain activity. And there's an actual chart that shows this. If you want to search it up, I can put a picture on the screen. But brain activity and then time. This is you consciously forming a habit, and this is once a habit is formed. What's going to happen is for the first 21 to 28 days is there's going to be an increased amount of brain activity. There's going to be high brain activity because there's going to be new neurons firing and wiring in order to form these new beliefs within your mind. And this is going to require conscious effort. It's going to require accountability. It's going to require consistency, persistence, and you basically want to starve this old you of all of the old habits to the best of your ability. Okay? And you can do this by stepping into the new you. You can do this by stepping into the love, the emotions, and the expanded state of your higher self who has your goal that you want to reflect into your reality. Basically, what you want to do is you want to live as if you already have that thing even before it's reflected into your reality. Okay? Just like when you're trying to physically change the mirror and change the appearance of yourself in the mirror, you can try and scratch the mirror, draw on the mirror, but it's not going to change who you truly are beneath, right? You need to change who you truly are, what's reflecting into the mirror in order for it to show you a different image back. So, after a habit is formed, what's going to happen is that brain activity is going to drop, and therefore it's subconscious, right? And that part doesn't even need to be there in the end, but therefore it's subconscious. And once there is no brain activity, that means it's just automated, it's on loop, it becomes a part of the lens that you see your reality through, and this is when that becomes expressed into your reality because it's impressed into your subconscious mind. This is going to take time, it's going to take effort, but if you can stick to your word, if you can stay consistent with this, you will see some change. So, to basically summarize this video, let's do a little summary, a little action plan for you guys as well. Let's call this action steps. Step 1, analyze your current reality, which is the effects, and reverse engineer the cause. And this will help you understand, basically help you understand what's going on beneath the surface, and this is where you ask yourself why. To figure out the emotion driving the cause. Step 2 is, what did I even say step 2 was? I was talking about the example of the reticular activating system. So step 2, what I suggest is to just start experimenting with less important beliefs to give your brain evidence. Okay, I highly suggest you experiment with less important beliefs. Maybe you just set the intention to see a Lamborghini because that's your dream car. Set that intention, and I can guarantee you at some point from the unknown you will see that Lamborghini. Set the intention to see a pink balloon. At some point you will see that pink balloon. Okay, just prove to yourself that you are the cause of your reality, and you will then step into that energy and power, and you'll be able to stack yourself with more and more wins, more and more beliefs, proving your subconscious mind that this is truly possible, and allowing you to just step into higher and higher and higher stages and states in different timelines, basically. So step 3 is to embody the new cause, and that's by starving your old self and stepping into the new habits, the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, the entire overall frequency and the action of your higher self. Okay, now if you want a full protocol in order to apply this into your life, go ahead and go to @mind of Kian on Instagram. Okay, and then what I want you to do is DM me this word here. Let me just quickly write it on the board. DM me the word break the loop, and I will send you my entire free protocol. I'll send you a link to booking a call with me, and I can help you apply this protocol into your life, and I can guarantee that you will change absolutely everything and achieve all of your goals and step into your desired reality. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. This is how to use the mirror, and I'll see you guys in the next one.